This video is brought to you by Beard Care Gang. Wait until the end of the video to find out how you can save some money and still have a fresh looking beard. What's going on, guys? It's Ozzy from OzTalksHW, and a few months ago, I was experiencing some odd issues with my computer. My monitor would flicker during any 3D game or 3D intensive task, and occasionally the screen would turn completely black. Now this happened so often that my computer became unusable and I troubleshooted it down to my video card. So I had to make a very tough decision in that moment, replace the most expensive and crucial part of my gaming computer, the video card. I had a Vega 56, and when it first released, it retailed for over 300 bucks. So this wasn't an easy sacrifice. I looked through my closet for any spare video cards, and the only thing I could find was a RX 460. Now these things can be picked up for under 60 bucks used nowadays. Pretty big difference for my Vega 56. Needless to say, I've used the 460 since May, and honestly, I'm satisfied. So allow me to explain. If you check my top 5 most played Steam games, the 460 meets most of the recommended requirements. If you check my recently played games, it still surpasses them. Granted, I have a 1440p 144Hz monitor, so take some of these settings with a grain of salt. They're probably geared towards 1080p users, but nonetheless, anecdotally, I'm happy. I've noticed minimal difference between my 460 and my Vega 56, and honestly, it's had me questioning why I had the Vega 56 in the first place. If you look back far enough into some of my older, cringier content, you'll notice my gaming computers in the background. Now, one of my first gaming computers ever was an FX 6300, a Radeon 7770, and 8 gigs of RAM. That was 5 years ago. When I built my first gaming computer when I was around 13 years old, I wanted the best performance money could buy, and being a young teenager, I only had around $300 saved up. So that bought me a Phenom 2x4 840 CPU, a Radeon 5670, and then 4 gigs of DDR3 memory in dual channel. I actually built the PC to play an arcade shooter called Project Blackout, but by the time I actually saved up and built the computer, the game died, which kind of sucked. Since then, I jumped from different computers, upgrading them, tearing them down, and even starting my own computer building business back in high school. But the Vega 56 is the fastest card that I've ever owned. Once I upgraded everything in my personal system, basically my dream as a 14-year-old, it was underwhelming. I realized 2 things. 1, the excitement after building a brand new computer wears off after a few weeks to a few months. And 2, I'm older now and I don't play games the way I used to, / I don't have the time to dedicate to games as much as I would like to. Luckily, YouTube allows me to creatively explore the first point, so I'm never really getting tired or growing old of computers. There's so much out there to look at and the industry is always moving forward. But the second point hit me pretty hard. At this point, being a 21-year-old college student, I barely have an hour of free time in the day, much less enough time to sit down and actually play a game. And when I do play a game, it's usually lower end esport titles such as Smite or Rainbow Six Siege, occasionally Overwatch, but nothing that's too intense for any standard machine. And the crazy part about it is my RX 460 does everything I need. Even at 1440p, I don't feel like I'm missing out on too much of a great experience where my Vega 56 takes a huge lead in the games that I play. Now, objectively speaking, the Vega 56 is miles ahead of the 460. I think it's like 300 or 400% faster on average at 1080p. But both of those are above the threshold of what I would say an enjoyable experience for myself. Now, I won't lie, I've had to turn down the graphical fidelity in a few of these games, but because they're esport titles, it doesn't really matter to me. It's interesting to be in this stage of my life because I would say maybe a year or even a few months ago before this upgrade, I would be so caught up in benchmark numbers. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't care about benchmarks because objectively they help you make educated purchases. But if it comes down to 110 FPS and 120 FPS, the difference for most people, especially myself, isn't noticeable. So I don't care that much. Granted, with the 460 and the Vega 56, it's more like 100 FPS and like 300 FPS. But still, 100 FPS is beyond the threshold that I would consider enjoyable and playable. And then there's content creation, which is where I spent the bulk of my time nowadays. And admittedly, the Vega 56 is noticeably faster than the RX 460 in this department. GPU acceleration has made great strides recently, and you can see improvements when you're editing. With the most 2 videos a month, the RX 460 is just fine. If any part of my process, my video editing process, my gaming experience is increasing in fidelity, then I will upgrade. So if I upload more frequently, if I upload in a higher bitrate or with a higher quality, or if I want to play a high-end game, say Cyberpunk 2077, then I'm totally going to upgrade. I don't really see a reason for me to drop more money on a new video card when the 460 is perfectly fine for what I've been doing. I mean, I've been using it since May, basically at all times. It's currently September as I'm recording this. I don't see a reason to change. Got this guy. A lot of you might be wondering what I'm going to do with the Vega 56 now that it's basically out of commission. And the answer to that question is, I don't know. Honestly, let me know down in the comments below if you guys have an idea. I'm thinking that I might give it away. I might just use it as a backup card in case this 460 dies out or something happens. I might end up modding it because it has a really nice design, and I think this could look great with some new colors or something like that. I might use it just as a centerpiece to, I guess, spruce up my setup right now. I'm not sure. I would say that I learned a lot from that dinky RX 460. It's taught me a lot about myself and kind of where I'm at right now in life. Whatever I'm doing right now in school, in life, whatever, should reflect onto my computer or setup. Does that sound weird? I feel like that sounds weird and super nerdy and just odd, but that's how I kind of like, you know, think about it in my head. I don't know. I'll just stop talking. Here's the sponsor. The sponsor of this video is Beard Care Gang. If you guys don't know who Beard Care Gang is, you should. You're totally missing out. They are a subscription-based beard and hair grooming service that sends you cute little care packages each month so you can tend to your beard and make sure it looks fresh and clean wherever you go. I've been using them for a little bit under a year now, so I can personally attest to the quality and the softness of my beard from when I first started to now. There's a big difference. Each care package comes with a shampoo, a conditioner, and a detangling cream that smells amazing. You basically shampoo and then you condition in the shower, and you do that once every 2 to 3 days depending on your hair texture and quality, and then you finish off with the detangling cream, and then you style your hair or your beard to your liking. Right now I'm teaming up with them, so with my code OzTalks you can get yourself 10% off your first month, and that's with any of these packages. And if you don't want to do a monthly sub service, then you can also buy these individual products on the website as well. If you guys are interested, then head over to beardcaregang.com, use the code OzTalks to get 10% off. Transition. Did you love it? Did you? I'm just kidding. Oh, Melon, you're great. If you guys like this video, then leave a like. If you loved it, share, subscribe, all that stuff, bell notification, you already know what to do. I'm not gonna explain it. If you want to follow me on social media and see what my life is like, then follow me on Twitter and Instagram at OzTalksHW on both. I just made the Insta, so the feed is a little bit dead. It only has one picture. It's this awkward picture of me smiling. But I'll be updating that more frequently. But if you guys like this video, again, do all that stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.